You got people in your hometown talking because you made it out of an environment that they are still stuck in. Y'all notice the sitting ducks is gonna be the loudest one. And you know doggone well the ones that haven't done that in their life gonna be criticizing others that's doing something. Haven't you noticed that? The sitting ducks doing a little quack 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 or whatever. I said a little but a lot of quack quack quack, which means a lot of talking. The same ones that's doing this haven't done nothing with their life, but still stuck in that same environment since they was in childhood. Listen here, that's because you were born in a certain environment doesn't mean you had to stay there. But the moment you rise up and step up to the plate, they're gonna be the same ones criticizing and judging. It don't matter what you do. Haven't you noticed? People are gonna always have something to say, especially the ones from your hometown. That's why it says a prophet is not welcome in his own country. And that right there, it hits you in the soul. Because the ones that you never met will be your biggest supporters. But the ones that you grew up with or had witnessed you grew up, go be the main ones that's talking a lot of smack. That's how it always been. It's been like this for decades and decades and decades. You would literally think you would get a little bit of support, but it's not always like that. It's never been like that. And this is why they always say get away from people that you once knew. Get away from people that like to criticize. Get away from people that like to gossip and all that. Get away from people who get out the bed starting chaos. Get away from chaos, gossiping, criticizing folks. Get away from it. Because I'm here to tell you now, these people want to drain your energy. They want to piss you off. They want you to be what's the word I'm looking for? Discouraged. They don't want you to believe in yourself. They want you to give up. But I'm here to tell you all right now, that strength that you carry inside of you, they wish they had it. That's why these people want to see you down. This is why they don't want you to have nothing. And this is why they don't want you to go nowhere. Because they want you beneath them. They want you to be that doormat. But let me tell you something. They're going to be kissing your tail. They're going to be sitting up here asking for your autograph. They're going to be the ones watching you on the main screen. And telling other people they used to work with you, be your friend, and this and that. But they would never tell the side of the story. Or the used to part. Because you know why? They done something dirty. Talking down on you. Wishing on your demise. And not only that, trying to turn other people against you. But you know the same person that believed them lies about you, it's the same ones that haven't done nothing with their lives. These toxic environments ain't hitting no nothing. That's why they sit up there every day, gossiping about the winners, which is y'all that is. You had grew up around these people, but you would never thought they'll become an enemy of yours. You would never thought you would see this, but it's a part of growing up. If you ain't losing friends, you haven't grew up yet. And some people are afraid to lose friends. They're afraid to grow up. But y'all, you lost so many so-called friends. And think about this. Going to school, they call it having friends. But as you get older, you realize that wasn't my friend. They wasn't my friends. They were associates. You would literally think them so-called friends will be there forever. For most cases, some people still got their friends since 2nd or 3rd grade. Not all of us. Not all of us. But it's okay, because guess what? We outgrew them people. We outgrew the whole entire city, y'all. You outgrew everybody that you once knew when you was a child. And this is why they got a problem with you. This is why they are talking. This is why they can't keep that mind off of you. Because they can't believe that the quiet one or the nerdy one or the, I hate to say this word, but the geekiest one, it always be the ones that was a nerd in high school. And I hate to use that word because that word, it sounds kind of corny, but them same people end up becoming successful. We are talking about the Steve Urkels, the Dexter Laboratories, God rest his soul, that guy that plays Screech or Saved by the Bell. I'm talking about them type of people. Them be the main people that end up making it out the environment. We are talking about the ones that were looked down on, underestimated, judged, talked about, laughed at. Don't be the same ones. They end up becoming something. And the popular ones be the main butt kissers ever. Sure, they got all the fame in high school, but once they leave high school, that fame is over. They were popular on the football team, basketball team. For you ladies, cheerleading. They were all popular, but they ain't got that popularity no more now. And they tried to make the popularity still a thing by talking down on you, spreading lies all over you, all over your name, but they only made you famous. But they didn't know you had a talent. They didn't know you had a gift inside of you until you pull it out and start using it. You may have pulled it out at a late age, but guess what? You still use your gift. And that's why they all mad to this day. That's why they are talking. You got them all shocked. Every single last one of them can't believe that you got up and left while they still working at that 9 to 5, still talking the same old language. Your vocabulary had increased so much, they can't even get on your level. They can't even talk to you no more. You upgraded over the years. You ain't the same guy that you was in high school. You ain't the same girl you was when you was in high school, junior high, middle school. You had changed. Y'all had grew up. You don't have friends no more. Because you know why? Them days are over with. But them same people still want to talk about having friends, hanging out. That's cool and all, but guess what? They still on that same old stuff, which means they still stuck in the past. They can't let the past go. They still got yearbooks from back in the day. And every time they see your old picture, they talk about you. Because they're still stuck in the same old thing, same old past. These people got yearbooks from the 2000s, 90s, and 80s, and the 2010s. Depending what year you graduated, they still talking about the same old stuff you did years ago. And it's 2025, for it to be 2026. That's why you had to leave them behind. They don't want to go nowhere. They scared, they afraid. And this is why they ain't making no money. Scary money don't make no money. This is why they couldn't understand you. But you were not put here on this earth to be understood. The smart ones go understand you, but the dumb ones ain't. But that's not your mission to do that. You don't need to be understood. You ain't get out of that bed for the people out there to understand you. You let them be them. You let them be dumb. It is not your mission to save these people. If they want to be stuck, let them be stuck. But for some of you, you did try to help these people. You tried to make them think outside the box. You had tried to make them think outside the box, or see the bigger picture, but they refuse to see it. So you say, you know what? You took up the deuces, you packed your bags, and you left. You ain't tell a single soul, because you know why? It was none of their concern. And now they over there wondering about you. Why did he leave? Why did she leave? Because it was time for you to flap your wings and fly. Like R. Kelly said, you believe that you can fly, and doggone it, you did it. That's why they talking. That's why they still stuck. That's why they still worrying about you. That's why they still gossiping. Y'all remember from back in the day, such and such didn't have nothing? You remember back in the day we used to pick on him, pick on her. Look at them now. That's going to be their legacy. Watching other people win and make it out of situations that could have had broken them. That's why they got to get together and talk. They're a bunch of ducks. Daffy Ducks. All that quack, quack, quack going on. But here you are, an eagle up in the sky. You up there with Superman, the birds, the planes. You can't even hear the nonsense that they're talking about because you're so high in the sky. And as a matter of fact, you are focusing so doggone hard, it's making them weak because they need your validation now. They need your attention. They overlooked you back in the day, but now they need your help. They need your attention. Do not help them. I ain't saying that to be a butthole or an a-hole. Don't help them. Let them sit there and rot and suffer in their misery. Let them sit there and roll around in their tears of misery. Because remember, you needed help, but they ain't want to help you. They laughed at your pain. But let me tell you something. When them tables turn and they get to turning, that's all she wrote. That's why they walk around here mad at the world, with their lip poking out, mad at other people's success. Having anger towards everyone's success. That's all it is, folks. Instead of them getting off their keister, off their behinds, and work. Some people don't want to work these days. They want a handout. They want a blessing without they want the blessing without the sacrifice. And by sacrificing, I mean putting in the work. Not that bending over and selling your soul type of thing. I'm talking about putting in the work. They don't want to do that. They want to do things the easy way and not the hard way. So you went through your season of pain, misery, anger, heartbreak, betrayal, all of that. Y'all went through all of that. And I'm saying people from y'all hometown, wherever you from, ain't did nothing with their lives. But sit there and watch people all day long. Years have flew. They still talking about the same old thing. Their language is still high school language. Middle school, junior high language. You talking that grown man and grown woman language. Not saying that you better than the next. It's that you upgraded your whole style. And if they ever try to talk to you again, they got to reduce themselves to you. Yes, that's like that. Because you can't talk to these losers no more. They don't want to do nothing. What you look like talking to a bunch of losers? They hating on nothing. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And that right there don't make sense. So while they sitting over here worrying about you, finna bust a nerve in their brain cells, wondering why you don't want to talk to them no more. They should know, but they so blind and dumb. They can't see their own BS that they all doing. That's why I said let them sit there and think about it. While you level up. higher and higher and higher. And you ain't gotta smoke no blunt or drink a Red Bull. That's to feel high. Or to have wings. You already got wings. That's why you flew and got away from the BS, aka these people. And if you was a bird, you would know who the ish on, but you not on that type of time. We are not on that type of time, y'all. We just want to do better. We ain't no competition with nobody. We mind our own business. While they over there cooking, we grilling. And now they want to come over here and get a plate. No. Heavens no. Tell them stay over there while they cook their little hamburgers and whatnot. We over here eating soul food. They over there eating junk. McDonald's, Burger King, and all that. We having a real deal over here. We winning and they not. But before I go, I want to say this. If they ever talked about you when you was a child or in school or spread your name around the whole city, I bet you right now they telling other people they went to school with you. They was friends with you. They used to hang out with you. They used to date you. They had kids by you. Whatever the case may be. I bet they wish in their little pathetic souls that they could have had treated you better. That's why they always say, treat the janitor like the CEO. Because the janitor can ride past the CEO and do better than the CEO. And that right there is based on a true story. So let them talk. Let them do what they got to do. Meanwhile, you getting better and better. Remember, not better, but you're getting better and better and better. Y'all keep up the good work. But I'm out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all already know what you got to do. But meanwhile, move in silence and stay low-key. Peace. Oh, by the way, make sure your health is good and your mental health is good as well. That's all, folks.